Thank you and welcome to the Residents Assembly meeting, which will be held by the Residents Assembly Service, which is here. Let me introduce my team members: Satish, Giovanni, Dan, Verena, and Tatiana, myself. And the three facilitators who stepped forward to help us, Julia, Elisa, and Viv. And I invite you to begin with a moment of silence. Thank you. So now I pass the mic to Satish.
Thank you. Welcome and good evening to everyone. Before we get started with this Residents Assembly meeting today, RAS would like to give a last-minute information that we have received as well from the Madam Secretary of the Auroville Foundation, Dr. Jayanti Ravi, who wanted to take 10 to 15 minutes of our meeting time over here today to address any questions that the community has could be answered by Madam Secretary over here today. So, does everyone feel comfortable with that? I mean, okay with that to go ahead? Calm down, please.
Show of hands.
You want to? Yeah, it is only to address any questions if there are any at this meeting, and not to be fully part of this meeting actually. Just wanted to address any questions.
At the end, if there are any questions, you can answer those questions.
So just for your information, Madam Secretary is already here in the room. Just to let you know that she's with us now. So just that for your information, we have to decide quickly if we're gonna give her space for us to ask questions. As far as I understood it, she would not present anything. She would only answer questions if you have. If nobody has questions,
she can address the group rather than doing this Q&A.
I only wanted to add to what Satish said, that Madam Secretary is already with us. So just be aware of that, because talk to someone who is here is not an imaginary person. He's physically with us. So just, I would like you to consider that. He's a human being who lives in this community. He's not a resident of the community, just that.
Thank you. Show of hands.
No, don't do this.
The meeting is going to fetch a unity. If we are here for unity, as an administrative officer of Auroville Foundation, I mean, it's least. She should be given the opportunity to talk. Right? We are here.
I can have, and I can also you can talk across and stuff also. I can also do that. I've been here long enough to open my mouth. Because I think, please take few seconds, breathe in, breathe out, and speak quietly, I suppose. Anybody in this room. And I'm tired of this. Every meeting, same old thing. People crisscross all the way through. Please don't do that. Raise your hand if you need to. Maybe somebody can guide you to speak. Whoever, not you only. So don't look at me directly. I'm targeting you. The whole room, the whole place. Okay? And we can go home. This is not an accepted here for no more. Okay. No, every time we don't talk about colleagues. You can't speak. No, I won't speak to you.
I just wonder if we're going to have Madam Secretary answer some questions. I believe the community has much more than 15 minutes of questions after the last 2 weeks. So what I would love to listen to what you have to say. However, I would also love to have a community process. So what I'm afraid is if we open this box of having a discussion with the Secretary, we won't actually end up having a discussion between the community. Maybe we can start by having the presentations, and like we can give her a slot in those presentations.
You have to use the mic for the people outside. Otherwise we don't know what happened.
Sorry?
Sadiq, I think it is wise because a lot of emotion, a lot of questions are also.
Check. Okay. Okay, so giving the mic is not gonna work because there are so many people here. So I have one request because there are cameras as well and we are live broadcasting. I have a huge request. If you have something to say, please come here and use the mic. There is a standing mic as well. That's what is needed. Yeah? There's a standing mic over there, mic with a stand. Only one, yeah. We have a standing mic over there.
So, but I have a proposal. If we go into discussion now, this will take the meeting. Come on. You cannot talk half an hour to say yes or no. So, Satish was proposing a vote. We can do this, or we can simply... We cannot give time. Look, be mindful of the time. You want to talk half an hour? If some person has the 10 minutes to talk?
Yes.
All right.
So I'm hearing right now a kind of request to the secretary. Sorry, I'm hearing a kind of request from voices of the room to the secretary to actually maybe have this interaction later on. One second. We need to keep that short. We have some things to do. There is an intention for our meeting, and we just need to be clear with respect and considering all of us. Yes, so it's a big task right now, and we are unclear. So I heard some no's. So my request is it a possibility for the secretary that we plan that first in advance. But at a later stage, within this process, is it possible? Dr. James Tirani, would that be agreeable to you? My understanding right now is we need to meet together. There is a fracture here. We are all very sensitive. Our collective body is quite fragile. We need to meet, we need to hear one another.
So before we discuss, why don't we hear her what she has to say?
Because it's not the intention of the procession of the room, yet it can be included. Because there is an offering, So we can see when to place it so that it's meaningful.
Yeah, we'll take another 1 week for that. So I think, sorry, as Madam Secretary is here,
Can you please sit down?
Guys,
Sit down.
as Madam is here, and I think a lot of question is related to the action what was done.
Absolutely.
She directly can explain, and so some of our
understand.
long discussion might be.
I understand.
If we have that clear explanation, I think that would be fine.
guys, how do we want to hold that?
Now that person is there, this topic is.
We know. Can we, okay, I have a request. We are many in the room. And we are not here to police and to, and yell and yes and no. We need to find constructive, peaceful ways forward right now. And clear. So what I'm hearing is that there's still a part of the community which is not comfortable to start the discussion with the secretary. First to start among us as Aurovillian. There's still a membrane between internal processes and including the foundation. Yeah, so
only a part of
I know, I understand the request, and I'm not the one saying yes or no. Who am I to say that? I'm just hearing, and we need to take a decision because the focus of this meeting is actually for us to discuss and come to more clarity. You know?
I'm ready to get out of flag. I'm ready to get all the flag. I'm ready to get all the shouting. But I'm shaking. I'm shaking actually by the reaction of the community. Can't we show a little bit of respect? Yes, you can shout at me. Yes, you can shout at me. I'm shaking because if you don't feel in your body what is going on here, then where is the sensitivity? Then where is the respect? No, it's not too late. Actually, we could have taken, I don't know whether we will take it, but we could have taken this opportunity to indeed ask questions. Questions which I myself also have. To indeed ask questions. Just dedicating, please let me talk, dedicating half an hour for this process. And afterwards, we can have our meeting, we can have our presentations, we can listen. But is it really that difficult to do?
The minority
Thank you.
applauding now.
That's again a minority.
Okay. Is this working? No. Yes? Okay. Okay. Can I?
Who said minority here?
Can we? Hello? Hey guys. Hey guys. No, we don't go with that. Can I?
All calm down.
Kalia.
Why you didn't ask him? You ask him!
Secretary, can you see what is the propaganda of your request?
everyone to sing along, please. Ask everyone to sing along.
Let's all together, just one more time, sing Om.
Excuse me. Please stop all the cameras, cell phone, everything.
So you want to speak about Auroville and our internal thing, you also want to put it out. Okay, your choice.
We'll do it also.
Thank you.
Make a nice profile. But this goes for everyone.
Okay, can we please sit down? Everyone, please, we come back to the room. Let's come back here. And to be honest, I don't know what to do right now, but I want to check it. Sorry? You cannot hear, sorry, okay. Okay. Is it? I'm on? Yes, I'm on. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's true. No, it's okay, thanks. It's okay. Let's just have a moment of silence, just a moment of few breaths, just to calm down and cool down. Okay. So, it's already 5:25, and I just want to check. Either we have a show of hands in order to have a sense of what's happening in the room, or we request that there is still the RAM2 that is going to happen, and then we park this time at another time. You cannot hear outside. Okay. Can someone from the technical? Now it's good. Okay, thanks. We didn't really start it yet. We didn't start the meeting yet, so it's very important for us to come to talk. So I would really like to request the secretary, is it possible, please, that we plan that in advance, another time? Because I don't know how to hold space right now. And I'm sorry for everything that happened in a way, but it really shows that we need to talk first among ourselves in order to have also clarity, and there will be question, and I think there will be a lot of meaning to actually create a conversation between the community and foundation soon. But there is a need to talk here, so that's the only thing that comes right now. Is it? Wait a minute. I don't want to be applauded on that. It's just a request. I just want to know how is it? Is it okay?
Elisa, without asking us.
I think the question is to Madam Secretary. Well, I'm directly making a request to the secretary.
Yeah, but no, it's our opinion. You're not even listening to our opinion. Why don't you do the show of hands?
Speaking directly to me. Then we go for show of hands. No. Okay, it's okay. I heard it. Thank you. Shall we go for a show of hands?
Yes, please.
Okay, couple of things. This request is being made to the Secretary on the grounds of process. And the background here is, this is a fragile community. Things have happened over the last 3 weeks. Maybe the foundation is fragile too, I don't know. But emotions are high. There are divisions fraught right now, as you have witnessed, and the reason this request is being made to you directly to set intent so that I'm sure the whole community has lots of questions, but we would like to come prepared with that intention. That's the first thing. Second thing, show of hands is not going to work because there are people in this meeting that are not just here in this room. And if you want a show of hands for everybody who's attending this meeting right now, that's not physically possible. And the third thing is, the question that Eliza just made to you, Madam Secretary, with the right reasons and explaining why we would like to do what you want to do in a different setting, the answer that we are waiting for is from you. We are hearing answers from everybody else, but we haven't heard you. Can you reply to that request, please?
Please come forward.
Can we all be silent for a few seconds, please? Okay, if you don't want to be silent, would you like to shout?
We would like to hear your answer, please.
I would certainly take this invitation of having another interaction with all of you. But today, I want to ask all of us to again reflect on why is it that we chose to come to Auroville. Auroville was not a place. You can shout if that gives you happiness, but I'll again request all of you to be silent. It's a time again for us to reflect why we came here to Auroville, and again touch our hearts and ask ourselves, this is a city that was dreamt of by the mother. There's no place.
I'm very sorry to interrupt you here. There was a clear request, and a clear request from us, from all of us, the diversity in this room. We need time to talk to each other, to reconnect, to heal, to find common grounds. Would you be able to leave us that space that we currently desperately need right now?
That will not be your point of view.
There are different points of view, but we're here in this together. We're here in this together.
Let her finish. It's disrespect. Can you let her? Thank you.
Excuse me, can you please let her finish her conversation? Oh, no. Please, doesn't matter how long it takes. Say what you want to say. Please, be at least respectful to somebody you're talking to. We can't hear. Just let her say what she said. Yes.
And there was a clear question. I'm just sorry. Madam gave a clear answer. That's all. She has said yes to another meeting.
You don't need to translate. We understand English, Anita. You don't need to translate.
Thank you, Anita. Thank you.
Okay.
So,
Please,
please
finish.
So if you want to continue this for another half an hour, 1 hour, I'm game with it. But if you would allow me to say what I've come here to say for just 2 to 3 minutes.
Guys,
continue.
2 to 3 minutes, guys. 2 to 3 minutes. I think it's a fair request. 2 minutes.
Have you made up your mind? Yes? Are you sure?
Please continue. No yelling? Yes.
Made up your mind, but you stand there. This is a community process.
Yeah. Shut. Guys. Okay. Guys. Selvaraj. No. Guys. Hello. Guys. We cannot. No. Sorry. So guys, we won't go anywhere. We won't go anywhere by yelling. Sorry, I'm yelling also on the microphone. But we won't go anywhere there. Can we please, I know it doesn't feel right for some members of the community to give this time. I know that, we heard that. But we are where we are right now. And we also, as facilitator, we are right now. No one knows what to do. Can we please give these 2-3 minutes and come back to us just after? Thank you. Dr. Jayanti Ravi.
Okay, thank you.
Hello. Good evening. Listen. Please listen. See, from all of our attitude, I am shaking. I am shaking. Can I talk, please? I am shaking. I have not come here for this. I have not come for this. Can you all keep quiet, please? No, go out. If you can't go, quiet, go out.
I'm sorry.
We just sit here today.
Okay. Doesn't work. Guys, I'm sorry. Can you please? No, I'm sorry. No.
I am the resident here. I am the resident. I have not said anything what I say. You are not wasting so much time now so far? No. Not the mic.
Okay. Okay. We're trying. Yeah. Thank you.
So, can we all ask ourselves why we have come here? Am I audible? Can we increase the volume, Kshitij? This may be better. Can we have all of us ask ourselves why we came here? The 2 minutes that we asked for The 2 minutes that I asked for have yet not started then. I would like those 2 minutes in silence. And if we're going to be, then I think I'll wait for that silence, for you to quieten down and let me say what I want to share with you. Let's ask ourselves why we came here. We came here to be a part of the community that manifests the dream of the mother. And this is something we all collectively ought to be doing. I will certainly look forward to meeting you all again, possibly after a week. But my earnest request to all of you is that we cannot let Auroville, which has been a beautiful dream of the mother. It is perhaps the only place on planet Earth and the only place where the country, where Mother India has given unbridled freedom to try out this experiment. I think we must bear this sense of gratitude. We must also know that with this freedom comes discipline, responsibility, to realize that we are less than 8% of that entire community for which we have to work as willing servitors and help manifest the city so that the rest of the people of goodwill who are truly aspiring to come here can come. Can we be less selfish and try and work in a selfless way to welcome the 92% of the people who are also entitled, for whom the mother dreamt of and created this beautiful city? I've been seeing plans of this, and I have traveled to different parts of the world, and I can tell you that what is envisaged here is something that no other city in the world has. So on that note, I again want to leave this question with all of you. I again want to leave this question with all of you to ask yourself this question. If this happens, I may have to wait a little longer to complete my sentence. Thank you. So I'll have to wait a little longer till the claps stop to start my sentence again. If you'll let me finish. And with all of this, we're only displaying our sense of goodwill, our sense of responsibility, our sense of commitment to the dream of the mother. And I want again to request all of you to be willing servitors, instruments, genuinely, with your heart, trying to do what it is that we actually came here for. We are here to support you in that, facilitate it, accelerate it, be beside you, behind you. But I think if we try to disrupt this process of building the city that has been dreamt of by the mother.
Please conclude. Dr. Jayanti Ravi. Silence.
So if we are going to disrupt this process, as we are doing now successfully, the last how many minutes? What is the time now? 5:45. All we asked for was 10 minutes. If we cannot, this is what has happened for 53 long years. So let's ask ourselves that question. And if we don't collaborate and act, as the mother said, there might be situations that the force may actually move us in that direction. It's already happening. So let's collaborate. This is a wake-up call again for all of us. And on that note,
It's 5.5 minutes now.
So on that note, I would like to thank you for giving me not a very patient hearing, but a majority of you did, and I appreciate all the senior members here who did, and look forward to a more detailed. Thank you for translating that again. Would you like to wait till we complete?
Excuse me, Dr. Jaintia, please complete so that we can start also.
If they would let me, well, I think if you want to say some more
because
things,
it was
we can
longer than
continue.
expected. Please conclude. Thank you.
So we want to meet you all again, possibly after a week. But in that interim period, again, my request is to introspect and ask ourselves why we came here and contribute our bit to make the city of Auroville happen. Thank you. Namaste.
Let's start the RA.
You start the RA.
We're here for an RA.
Are we ready? All right. So our agenda is first to brief you about the decision-making process and where we are today, just to give you a clear picture of where we are heading to. So I pass the mic to Giovanni.
So there will be a slide projected soon. See, I'll put. I can't speak louder. I can put the microphone closer. Thank you. Thank you. Can you hear me now? Good. So my name is Giovanni. I'm a member of the Resident Assembly Service. I'm here to give you a brief summary of how the process works to make a decision. It's contained in a policy which the community approved only a few months ago in October. But before going into the details of the policy, I want to read a statement that we prepared together. So just to give you a quick clarification. The Resident Assembly Service believes that this meeting is neither illegal nor invalid, as some have written. The Residents Assembly Service is carrying out its duty to follow the decision-making policy. Yes, the Crown Road is in a master plan already approved by the community. This was in July 1999, more than 20 years ago. Nothing prevents the Residents' Assembly from meeting and discussing again, as done with many other internal policy. Now we can go to the policy, which I don't see still projected, but there are 6 steps to this policy. The first step is how you initiate a decision. It can be initiated by a working group or by at least 60 residents. A few weeks ago, the Resident Assembly Service received a petition signed by over 500 people. We checked that at least 60 of these 500 were residents of Auroville, so we validated the petition and we met the petition representatives, a group coordination team that they created, and the 2 facilitators, which I still hope will facilitate later. We will see. Then we went to the next step, which is this meeting, RAM1, Resident Assembly Meeting, the first Resident Assembly Meeting. So this is the first meeting of a long journey. We will not vote anything today. We will just introduce the topic. You will hear from the petition representatives. You will hear different perspectives. And at the end of this sharing, there will be an open floor, so everybody, or at least as many of you, could have the chance to talk. We will listen, and then we take the pulse of the people attending, and we will discuss next steps. One that is going to be sure is, I don't see it, but is the Resident Assembly Meeting number 2. So in the following meeting, there will be the chance for, sorry, step back. Step number 2 is the feedback. So the resident assembly service will send a report of this meeting, giving the community the time to send us feedback. We will collect all the feedback and we will hand it over to the petition coordinators, because it's their task to integrate the feedback into a new proposal, which we will discuss in meeting number 2. So we will call this second meeting, and you will again hear from the petition representatives how they consider your feedback, if they integrated your proposals into the new proposal, or they rejected them. And they will explain why they accepted certain comments, why they rejected other comments. At the end of this second meeting, we will again check with the participants if the petition is ready to be submitted to vote. If the room will disagree, because there is still the need of more refinement, then there will be another meeting, and potentially many more meetings, until the people in the room will decide to move on and put this to the resident assembly to decide, to vote. So this is the following step, the voting process. The resident assembly meeting service will send you a link to vote. You can do it online, or if you prefer the traditional way, you can do it also offline. You can come to the office, we will have places and time for you to vote. Then we will count the vote. First of all, we have to be sure that the quorum for the decision to be valid is met. You might remember that the quorum is 10%, so 10% of the population has to vote, otherwise the vote is not valid. And the last time we voted was in October for the policy I'm just talking about, and the number was 239 people. So we have to check again how many are we now, redo the calculation and see. Of course, we will count the yes and no at the point, and we will announce the result to the community. The last step is the implementation, which is maybe the most, at the point, controversial, because we will have done our job. The resident assembly service finishes its mandate. Now it's up to either the residents, which are concerned by the decision, or the working groups, which are concerned by the decision, to implement it. So that's it for explaining the process. I hope this brought some clarity. If there was uncertainty on how these things works, feel free to contact any of us. Tatiana is there, the other 4 of us are here, if you have need of other questions. But before handing the microphone over, I want to tell you a story. I will be quick, 2 minutes. So it's the story of a family who had to take a very important decision. They were living in a village, but the brother, there were 2 siblings, this brother wanted to move to a city because he wanted to have more comfort, he wanted to have exhibitions, he wanted to go to the university, he wanted to have more people around. And the sister, she wanted to stay in the village because she loved the trees. She was in love with the river, the water all around, and the group of friends, a small group of friends she had. So they were fighting constantly. Then the mother, the mother, she said, okay, she called a meeting and she said, now we have to sit around the table and take a decision peacefully. You talk and the other one listen, then it's your turn, you talk and they listen. So what didn't happen is that the brother didn't go there and throw away the table, violently saying, I don't want to hear from her, I want to go to the city. And neither the sister was maybe shouting at the brother, saying, why, I want to stay here, or crying or shouting. No, they were talking peacefully. Now, I won't tell you the end of the story, because it doesn't matter if they move to the city or they stay to the village. Why I wanted to share the story is because the process is important, how we manage that peacefully. So I believe in miracle, and I believe that during this meeting we will be peacefully talking to each other, without distinction. And maybe we will arrive also at a pacific and shared solution of this complex matter. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So I'm the only facilitator, and I need your help, guys, to somehow that we share a meaningful space. So we had the intention of this agenda as it was presented by the RAS, and we somehow, we don't know where we will reach, and the defining the arrayed equation and take the pulse, we will include it, but we will see how to rearrange time, basically, because presentation also will need to be slightly shorter. In order to nurture a space which feels safe and meaningful, that was our intention. We wanted to have few invitations, having a shared responsibility of the space, but also we wanted to really clearly say no violence, physical, emotional, psychological, mental. Any spark here, and we saw it, can actually really become bigger and can become a fire. And I'm not sure, I think we all see that right now we don't need more fire, we need some more water and healing and deeper understanding and clarity. And so there's an invitation to really have a quality of space altogether. An invitation also to speak from the I, and not we are, you are, but more speaking from your experience, how you perceive situations. That helps in situation of crisis. And we wanted also to invite during the presentation of the sharing that actually when you talk in order, we are in a decision-making process, and yet it's not a collective decision, so it's interesting. So together our individual result will make the decision, but the intention when you talk is actually to talk to the whole of Auroville. There are people online, we need to take a decision, so whatever you have to share, please share the essence, what's really important for our collective body to be aware of, to be informed of. Yeah, that would be an intention to keep. And last, of course, being open to others' experience and perspective. That would help the quality of the space. So these are intention for the meeting. We are going to have presentations of, basically we wanted to have people who answer yes, who would have a stand for yes to the answer of, sorry, I don't have the arrayed equation. Can someone read the arrayed equation?
I can read it if you want.
Yes, please.
So the RD question is to stop all development work on the crown until further notice from the RA. This is the petition that has been handed over by 500 residents. More.
Was the second one, no? Second question?
Alors, they are coming, but at a different moment. Maybe RS can talk about that, but this process is on this RD with this question about stopping the work until further notice. So we will come back to the further notice later on, but for now we are going to start with presentation. So we will have some presentation of why people would answer yes to this question. What is the ground and what they see that it will provide, nurture, bring. And then we will have some people who think, no, it shall not stop. And why, and so we will have some time for presentation, and then we will open to the sharing of the room. Yeah? I'm just feeling that until what time we can be here. I don't want to hold us too long, but the meeting was planned until 6:30. That's going to be a challenge. Okay, so let's just start. Let's just start with the presentation, and yes. Do we have? No, there's still this. Yes. So we can start with the first presentation of, the ones, how would you call it, from whom, the presentation?
From the petitioners?
From the petitioners. Okay, so please start.